Pakistan, India, and most important are people from Jammu and Kashmir. They are the major stakeholder within this whole dispute. Now, the factors which are affecting peace, without going too far in the history, it started with 1947, partition of Indian subcontinent on religious grounds. When tribesmen supported by Pakistan tried to occupy Kashmir, then there was ceasefire. Now everyone keeps talking about United Nations, that United Nations Resolution 47. It clearly talks about 3 steps. The first step is Pakistan to remove its people from the region, from the Kashmir. Second is that India maintains the minimum military presence required. And third, India appoints an administrator under United Nations who will conduct free and fair plebiscite. But we all know with the current situation, it is very difficult. Moving on, India and Pakistan fought 2 wars in 1965, in 1971. In 1971, Pakistan took a policy to bleed India through 1,000 cuts. And that led to the creation of Bangladesh. Now, when they saw that it is very difficult to implement those policies, they started a proxy in form of terrorism, which spread in Punjab. Later on, it went into the Kashmir. Now, during the same period, form of Islam within Kashmir was very unique in form of Sufism. But with the petrodollars coming in, the spread of Wahhabism started spreading, and then it became an acceptable norm within the region. At the peak of terrorism in 1989, we saw that Kashmiri Pandits were exiled from the region, and then they became refugees in their own country. They have all these ghettos and their regions in Jammu or Delhi and all. That led to so many conflicts. Now, current situation, if we see that it's one of the most militarized zone in the region, human rights violations we find on both sides. Now, the factor which is again affecting is ISI, sponsored terrorism to the local people within the region. And then there are non-actors like Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Harkatul-Mujahideen. These are the so-called non-state actors who try to destabilize the peace process and the region, within the region. There are incidents of, or the new tactics which is being followed is stone pelting. Unemployed youths are being used to throw stones at Indian paramilitary forces, and when they use the force, it becomes a human right violation. And yes, human right violation is happening, which needs to be controlled and which needs to stop. In recent time, which led to spread of terrorism within the whole region, as recent as 2016, we saw that there was an attack on Indian military base in Uri, against which India carried out surgical strike. In 2019, 14 February this year, there was an attack on CRPF convoy from Jaish-e-Mohammed, which killed 45 CRPF, and then there was a huge outcry within the country, which led for India to do the airstrike. So within this whole scenario, peace looks like a distant dream. But in my opinion, peace is necessary and most important, because if you see, India and Pakistan share same cultural history. Their food, their music, their folklore, even the dressing. So there is so much similarity within there, and human right violation is happening on either side, which leads to the suffering of the people from the both sides. So humanity which is suffering, right? Without terrorism, we will see that this region could be developed into tourism, which will add to a lot of prosperity, economical and social development for the people. Now, the steps which could be taken to bring the peace, a lot of people talk about the dialogues. Yes, dialogues are the most important, but in my opinion, we need to have a composite dialogue at each and every level. So the first, there should be a dialogue between the country to bring normal relationship. This could be done through track to policies or sports or social events. Then there should be a dialogue with Kashmir. Now, in terms of Kashmir, in India's perspective, it becomes unique because India has given them a special status with Article 370, which rest of India considers as an impediment in integration with the whole nation. On Pakistan side, they will have to address their relationship with Muzaffarabad and see how they can reduce the presence of security forces and how change maybe can be done in constitution or legal framework so the better governance can be done within there. There should be dialogue within the country. So both India and Pakistan being a democracy currently, and democratic institutes are well established in part of India and now also in Pakistan. So India will have to reach to the moderate voice or even to the separatists and see how the grievances can be solved. Right. Now on Pakistan side, Pakistan will have to see how they stop cross-border terrorism, how they stop the support of the local element, which they give the support on those sides. Then the most important is there should be a dialogue within the Kashmir. Now, Kashmir has always believed in Kashmirian, which they believe in social and religious harmony and brotherhood. So the Kashmirians should be promoted and a healing hand should be given so that all the stakeholders, because Jammu Kashmir and state is not only about Hindus or Muslims, it's Hindu, Muslim and Buddhists. They are the stakeholders within the area. Now, again, a step should be taken for the settlement of Kashmiri Pandits, because they see exile within their own country. So good news is like majority of Kashmiris also want them back. But instead of a ghetto, there should be a process by where you create a new township or integrated township, and in a phased manner, these people go back to their roots. And another dialogue should be on the line of control. On the line of control, a mechanism should be established so that any escalation between the conflict do not get escalated into military conflict or ceasefire violation on those sides. So having a dialogue at a different level, a composite dialogue, is the most important thing. Next step which could be taken is curtailing the power and special powers which is given to the special forces. Because with those acts, there are human rights violations happening. But while amendment could be made in this Special Force Power Act, soldiers' human right also should be protected, because the stone pelting and all these when happens, they also act line of fire. People-to-people interaction on both sides of the border has to increase. That could be in terms of commerce, in terms of trade, or maybe a special status could be given by where they can have free duty or for the trades and all. So people-to-people interaction on both sides is very important. Now, focus could be on autonomy, but integration is very important in terms of Indian perspective for Jammu and Kashmir. And in there, some revisions could be made in Article 370, by where people could bring or people could buy property within there. Maybe it could be for lease for 99 years or something, I do not know. But some provision is made so that the prosperity, then the tourism can be promoted over there. Then you will see that a lot of investment is going over there. A lot of companies will start going, and that will bring a lot of employment in the region, that will give prosperity. And then there could be other few measures which could be taken in terms of cultural, sports, and social, that people from the both sides get involved. Now, for counterterrorism has different main four pillars to handle the situation. The first is address conditions which are conducive to spread of terrorism. In this context, measures should be taken to promote tourism, Kashmiri brotherhood, and social and economical reform bring within the region. Second is prevent and combat terrorism. Now, law and order will take its course, and which is important, but in 21st century, we need to fight terrorism in cyberspace also. So there should be a cyber surveillance by way of control on social media or fake news. As recently, a picture from Palestine was shared and spread as the atrocity which is done in Kashmir, which incites sentiments and then rise to the violence and de-establish the peace process. Third should be done is building the state capacity and strengthening law and justice. Terrorism should be seen as a criminal. So all terrorists should be more or less should be dealt like criminals. So that will take the glamour of a warrior. Because the narratives which is being portrayed, they feel that they are warrior and they are fighting some holy cause. When it goes, then all terrorism activities should be investigated, they should be prosecuted and convicted as per the law. And the fourth pillar of counterterrorism is ensure human rights and rule of the law. When, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, or belief, people should have freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of movement. They should be given free and fair trial, and there should be a guarantee that there are no tortures, which will lead to building up a better society. In today's world, peace is not just an option, but it's an obligation for whole humanity and future generation. Thank you.